also have Ken and Amy, and they brought their sheep, and just to see everything in motion here, where it's not what you hear stories about, but we want you to see how peaceful this whole thing can go, that the sheep or whatever the livestock is only has one bad day, and that you actually raise it regeneratively, and you feed it good stuff, because that's what you're going to be putting into your body, and you don't want the animals to ever be stressed out, because that's going to be transferred over into your foods. Everything at this event has been centered on food, because the food is nutritious and that is medicine. It's for your health.
To drive that far and take a couple of work days off just speaks volumes. So thank you very much. I hope that you get every penny's worth of your time, and the information here. So, yeah. Well,
I have not had to replace them at all yet. They make different grits, which is so when I go this knife here.
y'all can come a little closer.
Yeah, y'all can come and check it out.
And then thankfully, my angel saved me. He's like, this is the best knife you have, because he knew how to do it. So that's just a difference in having someone that knows what they're doing and someone that doesn't. My guy was a surgical tool guy. He used a grinder. He didn't use a system like this. And for me, I've used the little yellow ones. That's what I've had to start with, and I'm sharpening them all the time. I had one guy one time, I had to load in the trailer and I couldn't get all the way back to the stall. And I get halfway up in the trailer, and my best friend's holding the door, and he decides to sit down. And I'm holding him like that, and I'm on a hill, and he sits down, and I'm like, no, no, no. And he pulled me out of the trailer backwards, and we rolled down the hill, and I just tackled him. And I was like, help me, help me. And she's like, what do I do? And anyhow, we have all kinds of fun wrecks like that. So if I've got the front leg and I've got something behind him, that helps me. A sheep, when they're on their back, it actually paralyzes them. It's just a really neat mechanism that's in them. But this guy, see how he just relaxed? So they have cradles for sheep where you can actually, when you're shearing, this is the best way to shear. I mean, not the best, but if you have a cradle, you can turn them upside down in the cradle. You can take a wild sheep and turn them backwards like this, and they'll do the same thing. This is not because this guy is tame. The brain is still working. Now, the only thing that animal has felt is the skin cut, just by the nerves. When you're in the throat, you have a vein, artery, and nerve. It's called ven. So vein, artery, and nerve all together. You've got one on each side of us and all the animals. We cut both of them. We cut through the nerve and we cut through the vein with one cut. So they feel the cut on the skin, super sharp, goes really quick. They feel the cut in the nerves that are right next to the carotid arteries, but it's all in one slice. Then the blood starts coming out of the body, the blood pressure starts to drop, the animal goes unconscious, the brain is still intact, tells the body to draw the blood in from the legs to take care of the internal organs, but the heart is pumping it out. So that's how you actually get the blood out of the meat, and why this is actually the most humane way to slaughter an animal, as long as you can do it in one cut. Yep, hold right here, right there. Father, I just thank you. Like, he's still eating. That would have amazing. That's amazing witness. Yeah. I've never had a sheep graze while we're about to do this.
Wow.
Father, I just thank you. I thank you for this guy. When I first started doing this, it took me 2 hours to do this, because it's like, what is what? It takes a little while to learn the anatomy, and it was ugly. I wasn't trained by anybody, so you just learn as you go.
So Stacy, with that said, we were talking earlier about, you know, the time clock.
Yes, sir.
So, you know, would you suggest that as you're getting started, just to take your time?
Yes, yeah, just take your time. The main thing is the hair. This process, if you can get good. Yes.
I didn't mean to cut the line.
If you can get good at keeping your pelt off, your meat is not going to get as much bacteria exposure. And then as soon as it goes in the ice, it's going to stop whatever has already begun. And so I've never had an issue. I've never gotten sick off of meat. You know, I've done it in the worst conditions. It really, really, really helps when you're doing it in fall or the winter. So.
Yes.
Okay, so we've done.
So we're here on harvest day for the sheep. There's Mama back there. And that's back there is the crowd that's here to learn the butchering. But I also wanted to give you a shot of kind of where we're staying too, because we're staying here at Mike's place, Mike and Lacey, and we're actually staying in their bell tent, which is a nice setup. It really is. I brought my cot, but then we have the picnic tables out here with all of our stuff on it. And a little funny thing we noticed this morning is, I don't know if you can see it down there, but see, it happens to other people too. So there's I'm guessing those are, I'm guessing that's duck.
That's duck. I
Yeah.
think they're the Muscovies.
Yeah, because there's a couple ducks that wander around the farm. So that's probably one of her nests. But yeah, so the next part of the class is actually, well, Amy helped with the first processing, and you saw that. But now we're going to be getting into the afternoon portion, and Amy's actually going to do the processing of Rick. So we're going to jump over to that now.
You can just step right over if you want. There you go. And you'll scoot back as close as you can. And if you hold this underleg like that actually helps hold this one. So you can just pull that one backwards basically. And then just like that. Would you mind going, I'm sorry you're in the sun, but would you mind going back a little bit more so she's got room? So how do you feel? Do you want to share anything with anybody? You don't have to, but
No, it's. I don't know. It's a gift to raise this animal up, you know, from baby. But then you know, there's an attachment there. But we're trying to be good stewards of all that we have. So we've raised them on good pasture with good food. We've trying to be good shepherds. And I'll tell you what, being a shepherd keeps me close to the good shepherd, because sometimes these guys follow along, do exactly what they're supposed to do, and other times it's like, my goodness, what are you thinking? Yeah, right. But to actually put that hard, and I don't think it ever should be easy.
it's never gotten easier.
No, and it hasn't with us either. We've only been doing this a few years, but every time we do it, I get emotional. And no, and if it does get easy, then you might have to check your heart, because it should not. I don't think it should ever be.
We need Sam and whoever's going to hold for Sam. Again, right now we're about learning. This guy's nice and calm. He's had a great morning, and so we've done the best we can by this guy. So we're just going to take our time, okay? It will be easier on you if you can get on your knees basically and have his head right here. So when it comes time, you fold his head backwards basically, and his skull will be pushing on the ground, and then you put your drop your knife. Sorry about that. Good job.
I'll tell you this, guys. It feels like a sin, but it's a necessity. I'm glad for the opportunity. I thank Ken and Amy for it, and everybody. But yeah, it's just a shame we have to do this.
It's not a shame we have to feed ourselves.
You're right, it kind of feels like it, and that's that transference of learning to be a steward, not just a taker, you know. So there are just takers out there, but when we love and we care and we do our best and we know that, you know, God's given us these guys for health and for food, then we, that helps to not humanize them, which some do. Okay, so we'll take him to the first table and we'll just start ringing and skinning until the tree is available. And then just for time's sake, yep, you can put your hand in his mouth and hold with the teeth. That'll be easier for you.
Openly rejects and even openly in rebellion against God. It's even celebrated in our entertainment, normalized in our schools, and even defended in our courts. How sad is that? Ask yourself if you haven't. Maybe consider it from a parent's perspective. If your child was going against you in almost every rule that you had, how can you bless that child? You still love them, and you're going to do whatever you need to do to get them to come back to you and do it in a way that's going to be successful for them and for others. Allowing these things to happen as he has foretold, and it's going to reach a climax, a breaking point. Jesus said in Matthew chapter 24 and verse 7, when he was asked about what will be the signs of his coming. He answered and said, "For nation will rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom, and there will be famines, pestilences, and earthquakes in various places." So in other words, I'll use some more modern terms for you. People will be divided. There will be violence. There will be wars increasing, rumors of wars increasing. There'll be rises of sickness, rises of diseases. It's interesting. I feel like when I was a kid, people were much more healthier. Now you just see ads everywhere. You're like, how many people are just sick and dealing with these things so often? Is everybody just sick every single day? The sickness is increasing. Good chances that all those things are just mounting up. Not happened yet. This is one of those times that this is not duality. This did not happen. It says, "Now it shall come to pass in the latter days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established on the top of the mountains. His government shall be established as the government of this world, and it shall be exalted above the hills and all nations shall flow to it." That has never happened. It's not happened. So this is an indicator that this is future. This will happen. All nations will surrender to God and his government, his rule. Many people will come and say, "Come and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the God of Jacob. He will teach us his ways. We shall walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. He shall judge between the nations and rebuke many people. They shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war any more." What does that mean? Implements of war being turned into implements of good. Instead of for death, of producing for others, for the benefit of others. The whole way of life being God-centered, focused on God and serving one another.